Hi everyone! So today's video is going to be my first ever Q&A and I'm so excited to film this because Q&As are one of my favourite videos to watch. I just find that you get to know more about people in a more spontaneous way. I haven't pre-planned any answers to these questions, so I'm just going to be answering them off the cuff, which may end up being a bit crap, but I do find that you just get to know somebody a little bit better when you ask these kinds of questions, and they're not typically things that I would just share randomly anyway. So I asked on Instagram and Twitter and I've got a few questions, so I'm just going to get started. So first up, I'm going to start with some questions on Instagram, and the first one is from Amalia Chowdhury. I think that's how you say it. Apologies if I do pronounce any kind of names wrong. I definitely will. So I've just got all of the questions on my phone, so I'm just going to read them off there. And Malia Chowdhury's question is, how did you find your style? And I love this question because style is such a personal thing, and it's the main reason that I wanted to start my blog in the first place, because sharing personal style, nobody else is going to wear clothes how you wear them, and that's the amazing thing, that every piece of clothing looks completely different on the next person. And for me, it's been a huge experiment with clothing. When I was younger, I went through kind of a bit what we called at my school a grebo stage. So it wasn't gothic, but I wore really big flared trousers. I actually had blow up trousers and a matching jacket that were bright pink, and they were from a shop called Spun Out, which is in Northampton, and it's this alternative kind of hippie gothy grebo vibe shop. And yeah, these trousers were actually space trousers. They were blow up trousers that I used to wear, and massive big platforms and cords and massive flares. And yeah, I wore a lot of punky fish, and I went through that stage. And then I got a little bit older and I decided that really slicked back ponytails were definitely the way forward, with big hoop earrings and bleach blonde hair and the black dye and on the bottom half. And then I got a little bit older and I started to more bohemian-y, big earrings and floaty dresses and just pretty wear. And over the past couple of years, I've kind of graduated into a more distinct style. I fluctuate between kind of structured, pretty outfits and looking like a boy, essentially. And I think it's literally just been me finding my personal style has just been a journey of going through kind of all of the extremes in fashion that I liked and finding one that actually fits my personality. And I think sometimes it's about being a little bit more brave to experiment with clothes and find out, yeah, actually I look like a total dick, that doesn't suit me at all, and moving forward and trying something new. And that's kind of where I've settled with my fashion at the moment. But I really do think my style is ever changing, and the only thing that's ever really remained a constant is that I really love monochrome. And I think it's just about what you feel comfortable in, and that's how I found my personal style, is just feeling really comfortable in the clothes that I wear. Okay, so next question is from Mary Grace Ickles. Mary Grace Ickles? Mary Grace's Ickles. Mary Grace Sickles. I don't know. Sorry. So this lovely lady's question is, if you could witness any event of the past, present or future, what would it be and why? Your channel is a favourite of mine. Thank you. This is a really, really good question, but it's also a really difficult question because I'm the kind of person who struggles with not knowing where my future is going. So part of me would really love to be able to go into the future and see what my life is going to look like in 10, 15 years. But I think I would like to be able to go into the future and see whether I've had babies, whether I've got married, whether I've got a new job, all of these things. I'd love to be able to see, but then unsee them, but then have a knowing left in my head that everything was going to be okay. I think that is what I would like to see. But I'd also really love to go back in time, and not necessarily an event, but I'd really love to meet Audrey Hepburn because I just love her and I think she's wonderful. And so I would, yeah, I'd really love to meet her. Crystal Princess says, I love your channel, and my question is, if you could pick any 5 people to hang out with for the day, who would you choose? This is really cool. I'm going to treat this as a celebrity hangout with people that I would choose for like maybe a celeb, like, you know, when you say, oh, if you could have dinner with these 5 people, who would they be? So the first person would be Stephen Fry, because I absolutely love him. I think he's incredible and I'd love to spend the day with him. Will Smith, because Will Smith, he's beautiful and funny and charming and charismatic, and I just think would be so much fun. I'd really love to hang out with Kevin Spacey. He's my favourite male actor. Audrey Hepburn. I don't know if these people will have to be alive, but I would love to hang out with Audrey Hepburn. Oh, there's just so many people that I would love to hang out with. I would really, really love to meet Alexa Chung as well. So off the top of my head, they are the 5 people that I would choose. But if I was being more considered, there might be other people that I would maybe prefer, but they're the people that, like, off the top of my head that spring to mind. Hannah Marriott 98 says, love your channel. Thank you, Hannah. My question is, what is your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve is people eating with their mouth open. Like, seriously, I can't, like, the rage that just overcomes me even saying it out loud. Like, I literally can't stand. Why would anyone eat with their mouth open? Like, it's just so gross. I don't want to see what's in your mouth. Just close your mouth, finish what you're eating, and then open it. Like, people who eat with their mouth open and people who speak with their mouth full literally, like, grinds my gears. I can't. It's like the worst thing ever. Like, I just really don't like it. Lucy and the Bun. Hi, Lucy. She said, what is your favourite quote? And a few people have said this. So I have a few favourite quotes, and I'm going to say all of them because I can't pick just one. The first one is my arrow tattoo, which I did explain in my tattoos and piercings video, which is, an arrow can only be shot by pulling it backwards. So when life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means it's going to launch you into something great. So just focus and keep aiming. That's just my quote for kind of like everyday life, to just face all of the shitty things that come at me head on with a positive attitude, and just know that even if something bad is happening, something good is around the corner. Also, a quote from A.A. Milne from Winnie the Pooh is one of my favourites, and I'm going to read this off because I'll probably misquote it. There is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we are apart, I'll always be with you. I just love that. It reminds me of like my childhood, because I grew up reading Winnie the Pooh, and it's like a personal realisation. Like, I read that when I'm feeling crappy, and it makes me realise actually I'm probably not as awful as I think I am. And then the last one is a Roald Dahl one, and again I'm going to read this. It says, and above all, watch with glittering eyes the whole world around you, because the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. And it's kind of like a similar sentiment to the A.A. Milne quote, is that you just don't really know what's around the corner, and to keep believing in yourself and other people and the goodness in the world. And I know that all of this sounds incredibly cheesy and gross, but these are the kind of quotes that make me feel good and positive and happy, and I really love them. Okay, so Kirsty Viach says, if you had to give up reading books or listening to music for the rest of your life, what would you choose and why? That's a horrible question, because how on earth could you ever choose? I think I would have to pick giving up music, because I love them both so much, but I really love reading. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I can actually pick that one. What would you guys pick? Wonderlife394 said, what are your top tips for staying healthy both mentally and physically? I'm not going to give any tips for physical fitness, because I don't really do a huge amount, and I should definitely do more. The only thing I would say is that if you're like me and don't really enjoy exercise that much, swimming is a really good one, because it works your entire body and it's actually fun. So that's the only thing I'm going to say on that. Obviously, like, I'm not an expert and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not qualified to talk about anything like this. But for me, a big part of feeling mentally healthy is being honest. I spent a lot of my teenage years suppressing feelings and suppressing who I was in order to please other people, and for the past 3 years I've spent my life like living by the motto that I will just be honest with everybody at any point to say if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling angry, if I don't like something, if I love something. I just want to be honest with everybody that's around me, so we're all on the same page. It's like everybody needs personal boundaries and everybody needs to know where they stand, because how can you ever feel comfortable if you're not being honest about how you feel? And so for me to like feel like I've got real peace of mind in a situation is just about always being honest, and it's not always the easiest thing to do, but once you start being honest about things, it becomes so much easier to continue living that way, and just the honesty kind of like spills out like word vomit. So that's the way that I kind of like try and stay mentally healthy, at least. 24 hours in today says, gorgeous blooms, because I posted a picture of flowers. And she said, my question, what would be your top tip for aspiring bloggers and vloggers? I think the only thing I would say to people that are wanting to start a blog or a YouTube channel is literally just do what you love and what makes you happy. That's all. Like, don't speak about things because other people are speaking about them. Don't have points of view that aren't your own. Like, just own who you are and what makes you happy, and share that information with everybody, because that's what's most captivating. What I love is a real raw and honest person, whether that's just about their fashion and beauty or whether that's about kind of like real life issues. I just really dig someone who is completely honest and open. And so just doing something that makes you happy is the main thing. Sharing that information is going to be infectious for other people. Lena 100 said, would you ever live abroad? If so, where? I don't think I could ever move abroad, just because I'm such a home bunny. I get homesick when I leave my family for too long, even for like a week. I just love the comfort of coming back to my home and seeing my family. So I'm not sure I could do it, but if I was ever going to move abroad, based on the places that I've already visited, I would definitely say San Francisco. I went there in 2015 and I literally had the most amazing time. It's just such a beautiful place with such amazing people, and just everything about it just felt everything about it felt incredible. And it's the only place that I've ever visited abroad. Actually, that and Paris are the only two places that I've ever visited where I've been like, I could see myself living here. So they're the two places that I would consider living, but I'm not sure whether I could actually do it. Okay, so now moving over to Twitter. Lucy Pills said, peanut butter or Vegemite / Marmite? Oh god, she's asked all of the questions. Okay, so peanut butter or Vegemite / Marmite? Peanut butter every day, all day. I could eat peanut butter at any point in the day with anything, I think. I love peanut butter so much. When it comes to Marmite, I'm not a lover or a hater. I just like it. I'm not like, oh my god, I love Marmite, give it to me every day, but I definitely don't hate it. I'll have it on toast and I could take it or leave it, really. But I do enjoy Marmite. But if it was a contest between Marmite and peanut butter wins hands down. Lucy has also asked, ultimate bucket list destination. I really want to visit New Zealand. I just think it looks absolutely beautiful. And she's also asked what my secret talent is. I don't have a secret talent, but I suppose something that I probably haven't shared much with you guys is that I used to do musical theatre. So I can sing and act, so that might be a secret talent maybe, I don't know. Zoe said, what was your career aspirations after leaving school? So after I left school, I was absolutely clueless, if I'm honest with you. I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. Initially I signed up to do a childcare course working with children with special needs, and then at the very last minute I changed my mind and decided to study musical theatre. So to say I had aspirations would be a bold statement, I think. I just wanted to do something that I felt passionately about. I felt passionately about both of those things, but I decided to go with musical theatre. And I ultimately wanted to go to stage school after that, and then I would have wanted to have been on the West End. Hol, which is at Holly White, said, when did you realise your passion for blogging, and what's the best thing to happen to you since starting? I realised my passion for blogging literally after I published my first post and took part in my first #BeBloggers chat. It just felt like I'd found something that was just for me and that nobody else could kind of own or take credit for. Like, it was just my thing, and I've never had anything like that in my life before, and it just felt really refreshing and really lovely, and I knew from the off like that was all I wanted to do. Like I just wanted to write and share content and speak to people that enjoyed the same things as me, and yeah, it was kind of like just an immediate thing. And she also said, what's the best thing to happen to you since starting? I would say kind of career-wise, the best thing to happen would be my involvement in the Schwarzkopf Live XXL colour ad. That was just such a fun campaign. Being part of like a TV advert like is such a pinch me thing. It's like, how could that possibly be something that I'm involved in? It just doesn't really feel real still. Like I see it on the telly, or I see like the adverts that in London and in the shops and stuff, and I'm just like, this is so weird. But it's definitely been one of the most amazing experiences that I've been able to be involved with since starting my blog. But I would say the very best thing about blogging and YouTube that's happened to me has been the friends that I've made. Like, again, it's a little bit sickening, isn't it? But it's true. I think I've made some lifelong friends through doing what I do, and it's enabled me to feel like I've always got someone, like even if it's not like a IRL friend, somebody that I've actually got on the other end of the phone, they still are on the other end of the phone, because I have like this community of people that are just constantly there. So if I'm having a shitty day, all it takes is a tweet to be like, oh, I feel crap, and there's so many people that just want to lift you up and make you feel better, and there is nothing better than that. Like, there's no kind of campaign or amount of money that could be more worthwhile than just feeling accepted by people and feeling like you have a community of people around you. Like, that's amazing. Sophie Hamilton at Soph Hamilton said, what would you consider your holy grail hair product? Your hair is also so amazing. Thanks, Sophie. I don't have one holy grail product. I think investing in really good hair care is the key to any good hair. I've said this in hair care videos before, that you wouldn't ever buy a brand new car and then take it home and wash it with rocks. Like, that's just not something you would do. It's the same thing, like you don't go to the salon and pay loads of money to have your hair look amazing and then come home and wash it with dirty water. It's like, you need to invest in your hair care, and so purchasing salon brand items like shampoos and conditioners and hair treatments are imperative to having good hair. But a product that I really couldn't live without, and this isn't from a particular brand, I really couldn't live without a texturizing spray. I don't get on well with just like kind of like sleek, well together hair. I love a bit of texture, so a texturizing spray is something that I definitely invest in. Caitlin Barron at CB_Sug said, do you have a go-to pair of shoes that you'd wear for a night out? Shock horror, I don't really go out that much. I'm not big on the clubbing scene or the drinking scene, really. I don't go out a huge amount. I do find that if I do go out now, it's not really clubbing. It would be just for drinks and dinner. And I wouldn't probably wear heels, to be honest. I'd just wear my DMs, or like, yeah, like wear a dress and dress it down with some Doc Martens. I don't really wear heels that often. Oh, I don't know how to say this one, I'm so sorry. Sasbo Lily said, what is your most embarrassing story? I can't think off the top of my head like what the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me is. One thing that always kind of sticks in my head is when I was about 7 and I was learning to play violin. I loved playing violin, and then I got a new teacher and she was really horrible. She was the kind of person that made you feel like you couldn't really speak or like have an opinion, and I was 7, but I was like easily intimidated by her, and I just didn't feel very comfortable with her at all, and I was desperate for a wee, like so desperate, and I didn't feel like I could ask. I thought like she'd be mad if I asked to go to the toilet, and so I just wet myself. I literally wet myself playing the violin, and then there was just a puddle of wee. So that was a thing that happened, and she was livid. She was like, why on earth didn't you just tell me that you needed to go for a wee? And I didn't know what to say, and she obviously thought I was even more of a dick than she already did. So yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Laura Lou at Laura Lou Makeup, hello my love, she said, why does your makeup always look better than mine and I'm supposed to be professional? That is not true. Your makeup is always absolutely amazing, and I'm not going to answer like that question seriously, but the one product I have to say that is just an amazing staple in any makeup routine is the Urban Decay makeup setting spray, because it just makes your makeup flawless for hours and hours and hours. Like, honestly, it is the very, very best. The last question is from, my name is Chiara, I think you say. Hey, it's Chiara. If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now and live there forever, where would you go and why? So does teleport mean you would want to go somewhere in time, or does it just mean that you could literally just go anywhere you wanted? Because I don't know where I would go if I was going to go back in time, but if I could teleport anywhere, I don't know about a location, but I would just pick up all of the nice, amazing people that I know in the world, put them all in the teleport box with me and go somewhere with them and just stay there, away from like negativity and nastiness and horrible people and violence and crime, and just live on this island. And we'd have all of the food and supplies that we would ever need, just like a normal life, and there would be shops and all of these things that we need to be happy, but there just wouldn't be any nasty things. That is where I would go. And I think that's everything, guys. I hope that that has been insightful in some way and that you enjoyed watching it. It's really fun to film these videos, so I'm definitely going to consider doing some more in the future, and I'd love to know if you've enjoyed watching it and whether you would like to see anything more. And if you do have any more questions, then do leave them in the comments below, and then I can add them into the next video if I do another one. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you could, and don't forget to give this video the thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!